A police officer's body cam flickers to life in the dark countryside, capturing what should be impossible. Something standing upright at the tree line, watching, not fleeing, just staring back with eyes that reflect light in a way no animals should. Then it moves, and every instinct screams that nothing on earth walks like that. This footage is only the beginning. What you're about to see are moments law enforcement accidentally recorded in America's most isolated places. Creatures that challenge everything we've been told about what exists in our own backyard. Deep in a flooded sewer tunnel, a camera's light hits something that shouldn't exist. The creature, captured in the murky water, its pale skin slick and unnatural, tentacles writhing from its spine. Then it opens its jaws, rows of needle teeth gleaming, and begins to walk forward. Not rushing, just advancing with terrifying deliberation. The camera retreats, shaking, but the thing doesn't stop. What disturbs me most isn't its appearance, but its confidence. It knows this space, and it knows you don't belong here. The footage was recovered from what appears to be an old trail camera positioned along a remote forest path. For the first 3 seconds, the pale figure stands completely motionless under harsh infrared light, its mantis-like head angled away as if listening. Then it moves, not fleeing, but retreating with slow, calculated steps, limbs bending at unnatural angles. What disturbs me most is the deliberation. It doesn't panic when illuminated. It simply walks backward into darkness, dissolving into shadow as if it knows exactly where the camera's range ends, suggesting this isn't its first encounter with human surveillance. A heavy footfall echoes through darkness before the frame reveals where. A remote forest trail cam somewhere deep in uncharted woods. Two wild boars bolt past in obvious panic, and what emerges seconds later explains why. A muscular, bipedal reptilian sprinting at impossible speed, followed by something even larger. What unnerves me most isn't the creatures themselves, but their behavior. They're not hunting the boars. They're fleeing from whatever thunders behind them. Something so massive the camera can only capture its legs before impact cuts the feed. A porch camera captures what should be impossible. A figure with an oversized, hairless skull and impossibly thin limbs stands motionless at a front door before slowly rotating to face the lens.
Hey, dog boy, look here. Boy, I need you bad, man. Shit, I need about 50, man. Shit.
What chills viewers most isn't just its alien proportions or black, reflective eyes. It's the deliberate way it leans forward, studying the camera as if aware it's being watched. Some dismiss it as CGI, pointing to the creature's smooth movement. Others note the fish-eyed distortion masks details that would prove manipulation. Personally, what unsettles me is the posture, patient, calculating, almost familiar with doorstep protocol. The quiet of an isolated ranch day breaks when a large, dark shape moves near the fence line. From the porch, someone filming watches what first appears to be a massive dog or bear, until it does something no animal should. It rises onto its hind legs and stands fully upright. The creature's wolf-like head, muscular frame, and bipedal posture suggest something out of folklore, a werewolf or dogman. What unsettles me most isn't just its appearance, but its stillness after standing, as if fully aware it's being watched and unbothered by it. This footage disturbed thousands online because the creature's behavior suggests it wasn't just hunting, it was aware of being watched. camper filming at dawn captured what appeared to be an unknown animal feeding in stagnant water, its eyes reflecting unnatural light. For 6 seconds, it held completely still, prey dangling from its jaws, staring directly at the lens. Then it exploded forward with such force that the resulting wave reached the shore. What unnerves me most isn't the lunge itself, it's the calculated stillness beforehand, as if measuring whether to retreat or attack. The mountain air grows thin as dusk settles over the scrubland. 2 men, whispering in Spanish as they zoom towards something, standing motionless in the brush.
¿Lo ves ahí? ¿Entre los matorrales? Sí, pero voy a hacer zoom. Parece una cabra, ¿no? Pero está de pie. ¡Hostia! ¡Corre, corre, corre! ¡Se metió al arbusto!
What initially appeared to be a goat reveals itself as something far more disturbing. A black, horned figure with glowing eyes, perfectly upright. When it suddenly lunges, their panic is immediate. Corre, corre, the camera becoming a blur of foliage and fear. Skeptics point to the convenient low resolution and abrupt movement suggesting practical effects. But others ask, why would someone fake footage this raw, this visceral? Personally, what unsettles me most is the creature's stillness beforehand, as if it was waiting to be noticed. What unsettles me most about this footage isn't the glowing red eyes or wing-like silhouette. It's how utterly still it remains. The figure doesn't react to being filmed, doesn't shift weight, doesn't even seem to breathe. It simply occupies the tree line like it belongs there, while the person behind the camera holds position in complete silence. Online, skeptics argue it's a mannequin or scarecrow dressed theatrically. Believers point out no decoration would stand that motionless in open air without swaying. If something can stand that patient, that aware, what else has it watched without moving? Deep in a fog-choked forest where moss devours fallen logs, a lone hiker filming wildflowers captures something impossible.
I can't believe this is real.
What appears to be a vibrant dahlia suddenly emits vapor from its core, spins like a turbine, and launches skyward with mechanical precision. From my perspective, what's most unsettling isn't the object itself. It's the silhouetted figure standing motionless in the mist behind it, watching. Online debate splits between CGI skeptics and those suggesting biological drones or interdimensional flora. If plants can propel themselves with intent, what else in nature might be observing us, waiting to reveal its true function? The footage comes from a hiker filming wildlife in what appears to be a remote mountain range. Behind a pine tree on a rocky ledge, something dark and impossibly thin emerges. Bipedal, but bent forward like it's studying the ground below. Its head is elongated, almost reptilian, and its limbs are spindly and disproportionate. What unnerves me most is how deliberately it moves, hunching low as if aware it might be seen. Online, some argue it's a misidentified bear on hind legs, while others insist no known animal has that skeletal frame. Personally, the way it pauses and surveys the valley suggests it wasn't lost. It was searching. A skeletal animal with a dark, bristled spine prowls deliberately across barren, sun-baked rock. The footage, captured through what appears to be old binoculars, shows a creature that doesn't quite fit known classifications. Too gaunt for a coyote, too pale-headed for a wild dog. What unsettles viewers most is its movement. Not frantic or afraid, but purposeful, as if it belongs in this desolate place. Some suggest a starving canine. Others claim it resembles folklore's chupacabra. Personally, what disturbs me is its complete indifference to being watched, suggesting it has never learned to fear humans. A utility room that should hold nothing more threatening than cleaning supplies becomes the backdrop for something monstrous. The woman doesn't hesitate. One glance at the dark mass clinging impossibly high on her wall, and pure survival instinct kicks in. What unnerves me isn't the creature's size, but how it doesn't flee when discovered. Instead, it detaches deliberately, dropping behind storage bins as if it knows the space. Online, skeptics call it CGI, pointing to the perfect framing. Believers argue no effect explains her raw, primal terror. If something that large can hide in plain sight within our homes, what else shares our spaces unnoticed? Under black and white night footage in what looks like a quiet farmyard, tension rises without warning. A shadowy figure crouches near the fence, then contorts its body low and wide before lunging forward in jerky, spider-like bursts. The homeowner's dog charges to intercept, leaping at the intruder mid-sprint. What happens next defies explanation. The figure catches the dog in mid-air and violently hurls it to the ground before collapsing face down itself. Online debate splits sharply. Some claim drug-induced psychosis. Others point to the unnatural way it moved, as if joints bent backward. Personally, what unsettles me most is the collapse afterward, as if whatever possessed it simply stopped. This clip spread rapidly online because the moment is extremely brief, but deeply unsettling. A boater navigating a blood-red river in what appears to be the Amazon captures something massive rolling beneath the surface. The water erupts violently, and from the muddy churn rises a colossal humanoid figure, shoulders wider than the boat, head grotesquely oversized, skin the color of wet clay. It doesn't charge. It simply stands there, waist deep, slowly turning its distorted face toward the camera. What unsettles viewers most is its deliberate stillness, as if asserting dominance without needing to move. Sunlight glints off wet stone as a man kneels in ankle-deep water, cradling something limp and gray.
I want to show you guys something. Check this out. Watch this. Look at these things' teeth. Look at the teeth. Those right there could bite your finger off in 1 second.
What he found on this riverbank defies easy explanation. Hairless, fetal-looking, with a disproportionately large head. But when he pries open its mouth, the disturbing detail emerges. Rows of sharp, white, human-like teeth. Online, the debate splits sharply. Skeptics insist it's a sculpted fake, pointing to the theatrical reveal. Others argue the texture, the wetness, the way light catches the skin suggests something organic. What unsettles me isn't just the teeth, it's their size relative to the skull, as if evolution prioritized biting over everything else. What unsettles me about this footage isn't the creature itself, but how naturally it inhabits this landscape, as if Uluru has always belonged to it, not us. The animal moves with the deliberate confidence of an apex predator, lowering its head between grass clumps, armored back catching the diffuse light. Online debate splits cleanly. CGI artists point to the soft rendering and vintage grain as obvious compositing, while the cryptozoology forums argue it matches descriptions of surviving megafauna reported by remote communities. Personally, what strikes me is the gait. Too heavy for fabrication, too unfamiliar for any known species. If something this large still moves undetected through the outback, what else walks those empty red plains after dark? Stopped at a desolate fence line late at night, Two travelers spot what they first assume is a vulture hunched on a wooden post.
¿Está viendo eso?
Eso no es un pájaro.
Mira la cara, qué miedo.
No se mueva.
Se está mirando. ¿Lo escucha?
Ay, santo. ¡No! ¡Arranca, arranca! ¡Está subiendo!
But as their headlights catch its raw, fleshy face and glowing eyes, the woman whispers in Spanish, "That's not a bird." For several tense seconds, it simply stares back, motionless. Then it lunges. Wings spread wide. The creature shrieks and crashes onto the windshield as they scream and scramble to cover themselves. Something wet splatters across the glass. If this thing was territorial enough to attack a moving vehicle, how many other drivers never made it past that fence? This footage comes from what appears to be a home security camera positioned directly above a nursery crib, capturing a family's small dog standing protectively over their infant late one evening. Within seconds, a dark, humanoid figure with luminous red eyes materializes from the shadows beside the crib's edge. The dog immediately rears up, confronting the intruder, then vanishes in a violent blur as the creature lunges. What disturbs viewers most isn't the attack itself, but what follows. The baby remains calm, smiling, completely unaware. If nursery monitors can record something this specific, how many similar incidents go unwatched? A dark mass clings to the shoulders of a thrashing elk, teeth locked at its neck. Filmed from a distant ridge overlooking open tundra, the footage captures a grizzly's relentless assault as the elk staggers, antlers swinging, legs buckling under combined weight. What's unsettling isn't just the violence, it's the bear's calculated persistence. It doesn't release when thrown off balance. It adjusts. Personally, what strikes me is how the elk, despite its size and weaponry, can't dislodge a predator that simply refuses to let go. If determination alone can overcome physical advantage, strength means less than we think. A desert that should hold nothing but silence and sand suddenly becomes the hunting ground for something ancient. The creature moves beneath the surface with deliberate patience, its segmented body carving slow lines through the dunes. Then it strikes, not in panic, but with calculated violence. The circular maw unfolds like a blooming nightmare, wider than any natural predator's should be. What unsettles me most isn't the size or the speed, it's the waiting. This thing knew something was watching, and it didn't care. If a creature this massive can hide in plain sand, what else waits beneath surfaces we consider empty?